Good evening, folks. Millennial Waterfowl back to you guys with yet another video. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. I hope you guys can hear me pretty good. We got a little fan going over here. I'll move that over. Today's vlog, there was a couple things I was trying to talk about today and I just didn't get around to it. I had some things going on with the kiddo who is surprisingly still awake at like 10 o'clock at night. Might even be later than that. But, you know, life gets in front of you, you get things going, and what can you do? And I know you guys have got to be getting sick and tired of watching the videos of me sitting outside and vlogging. But, have no fear, we're just under a week away from our tip of our waterfowl season starting. We've got teal season coming, we've got early goose opener the same day, and as you guys know, we got good things to come. Obviously there's going to be a lot of videos coming out with a lot of content, a lot of people out there doing the gig, doing the grind, and we're going to be going out there too. I've got a buddy of mine that I am going scouting tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon I'm going to go out and we are going to scout. I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Excuse me. Honey, go night-night. Good night, sweetheart. she doesn't want to go to bed. So, we are going out. We're going to go check out a couple lakes. We've got a couple sloughs. We got some ponds, and a good buddy of mine, believe it or not, I met this person on Facebook on a hunting page, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna go check it out. You know, it's not about what you have to offer in the aspect of benefiting someone else. This guy that I'm going out hunting with, you know, he's just a genuine person, just like me. He wants to go out and he wants to enjoy hunting, and he wants to throw another person out with him to enjoy those memories. You know, we're not trying to get rich off this, although that would be amazing. But again, we're doing this because we're passionate about it, like many of you guys are on the 9 to 5 reg when you go out and you go hunting, and you know, and that's what it's all about, is the passion. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the passion a little bit, and some of the things that it comes with when you get into waterfowl hunting. If you're watching this video for the very first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for when I upload videos. I do upload videos quite frequently. I am a full-time parent. I do have a full-time job, so bear with me on that. But as the time progresses, you know, maybe this is something I'll be able to do every single day. I'm not trying to become like a, you know, just a professional blogger. This is just something I do as a hobby right now, but who knows where it'll go and the road it'll take me. But I want to bring you guys along for the journey, and I want to share some of my experiences with you guys on some things I've gone through. So back to what we were talking about, you know, the passion and what this does to you. As many of you guys can relate to me, hunting, once you become addicted or you get hooked, you really don't, it really doesn't hit you at first like you think it does. At least it didn't for me the first year. I just found myself doing it a lot. And as the years passed, I realized it's not a problem. This isn't a therapy session or whatever on anything. It truly is something that you are either all about or you're not. I mean, I know some guys out there that, you know, they have hunting decoys, they've got a shotgun, you know, they've got, you know, the equipment to do it, and they either do it that year or they don't, or they go out that season and then, you know, they throw everything back up in the attic a couple times, and, you know, they miss a couple seasons, and then, you know, they come back in and out. I've never, like, really met someone in the aspect that they're, like, as addicted to it as I am. I would do it every single day for a living if it was feasible. I mean, I am truly hooked on waterfowl hunting in particular. Hunting in general, it's something that you do, you know, as a pastime, as a recreation, as a way of making food in the clutch, if you will, of everything, and the awesome part of it. But it does take a toll, you know, and I have talked about that in the past, and I'm starting to see it on social media a lot more these days. That there's a good buddy of mine, you know, I don't know him, but, you know, acquaintances on Facebook, you know, talked, plans to hunt this year, blah, 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 someone new I met, and, you know, he just threw up a message on Facebook on the hunting page here locally and asked if the birds are around and where they're at, you know. He didn't ask anybody for their permission to go hunt anywhere. He didn't ask to go on a free hunt. He didn't ask for their honey hole. He just said, "Where are the birds at, guys? Has anybody seen anything?" You know, and people start bashing, you know, internet scouting and like no one's gonna give you the best spot and like, you know, it goes back to, you know, knowledge is power, and get out there yourself and get out and do your own thing. And then you'll know for yourself. But I mean, I don't know if it's just people that are immature or trolling, or the way technology has made people so empowered to just speak so, not irrationally, but just so disrespectful. I mean, this guy wasn't asking for anything except, hey, has anybody seen any birds? That's it. Like, I don't... It's a yes or no thing. Like, hey, are they here? Or, hey, have you guys seen anything? Like, he wasn't asking whether or not, like, it was going to make or break him, or whether or not he was going to come hunt with anybody in particular, or pay, or do anything. He just asked a question, and people were calling him names, and you get into this war on Facebook about, you know, arguing back and forth, and it goes on and on and on and on and on, and then they finally delete the comment. It's just like, it just blew my mind. And it didn't in the aspect that I didn't see it coming, but it blows my mind of how negative someone in our community, in our own backyard, in our own home, our people, hunters. There's hunters, there's non-hunters. There's people that want you to have guns and enjoy hunting, and there's people that don't. Okay? That's how I look at it. There's two types. I'm not against one or the other. I love to hunt. If you don't like that, that's fine. It's my right. Like, I pay to keep it going. There's so many things behind it, blah, 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 blah. If you don't like hunting, you know, you can click out of this video. It's not a big deal. Like, I'm not pushing my beliefs on you as to change your mind as to why I do what I do, or why any of you do what you do. If you're a hunter, you understand. And that's what I'm trying to spread. I hope this gets and goes viral to everybody. When you go out in these woods and you even get on your computer, your cell phone, whatever, your tablet, whatever the heck you're on your social media with, and you're on these hunting pages, or you're not, and people are asking for something, I mean, you don't have to give it to them, but you don't have to put your 2 cents in and be rude either. I mean, people just snap, it seems like these days, on Facebook, on these pages, over something that if you were talking to someone in person in real life with, would never happen. You know, if I came up to you in real life and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm Jake. Hey man, you seen any birds lately? Nah, me neither. I haven't really got out. You'd move on with the conversation. Or, yeah, hey, I seen some. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. It's good to see you getting out and seeing some birds. I hope you kill a bunch this year. If you want, we should link up. Or, you know, good luck to you this season, blah, 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 blah. Move on. But people get on these social medias, and I don't know if it's because they're bored. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not trying to break into psychology, and I'm not trying to figure out why the world turns the way it does. I just want people to be aware of it. I just think it's wrong. Like, I think a lot of you agree with me. Like, nobody's going to give you their best spot. Nobody's going to tell you where something good is on public land if you're hunting with them on public land or against them on public land. You know, I get that. You don't even have to ask that question, but to just simply ask a generic question. You could even lie and put a comment saying, no, I haven't seen any, and you could have seen hundreds. That's just your conscience and your morals as a person, you know what I mean? That just falls down on you. If you think you hiding a bunch of intel on public land that everybody else isn't going to find out about, you got a sad thing coming opening morning, buddy, because you're going to be stacked out just like the other. I'm going to get off the rant. I'm going to get off the rant because, you know, it gets me going, it gets me frustrated. I went out to this refuge. It's on public land. It's open till 1:30 every day. I went out there opening day. 4 o'clock I get there. 4. Not 3, not 2, not midnight, not 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock at night the night before. 4 a.m. Why I got there at 4 a.m.? Because I planned to walk to the very end of it. And it's a good walk. And I figured, well, I can grab all my stuff, can walk all the way to the end of this, set myself up, not throw my decoys in the water, but I figured I can get myself a spot by the time I get all my gear, make sure I have everything, lock my vehicle up, I'd be good to go, you know? So I do. I get out there, there's 67 trucks at this place. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. And I don't have the footage, unfortunately. I wasn't into the, vlogging thing back then. I wish I was. I would have had some awesome content for you guys. But I'm not making this up. Believe me when I tell you, I'm telling you the God honest truth. There were 67 cars, trucks, whatever. 67 vehicles. You pull in, and it curves to the left, and it's got a little bowl that you can park in. And there were cars in every single spot, one behind them in every single spot, and it backed up all the way around to the side. 4 a.m. opening day. You know what I did? I drove in the parking lot, I turned around, and I left. I left. At 4 a.m. opening day. Wasn't mad. I really wasn't. Everybody's like, oh my God, Jesus, you're out hunting, and that's just a campground. Oh my God. Folks, a lot of people seen a lot of birds. But after so many cars showing up, you just got to realize it's going to get dangerous. And the fact that the DNR wasn't called or the game warden wasn't called at some point to go out there and regulate, like, hey, there's got to be a cap on something. Common sense, folks. It's common sense. If you're like the first one there and you walk all the way out there and everything just starts flooding you, you got to make two choices. You going to leave, or are you going to stay and risk getting shot or getting shot at? Or every single bird that flies by getting shot at before it gets to you? Or are you, it's a gamble at that point. So I left, And I know we're getting into kind of a story, but trust me, I'll finish and you'll understand. So I left. I drove up the road, got back on the highway, went down 1.5 miles, and went to a pond right parallel with it. Nobody was there. Not a single living soul. And I was dumbfounded. Got out there, set up 6 decoys, a mojo, shot my limit in 9 minutes by myself, had the entire pond to myself. Wasn't closed, no gimmicks. Had the entire pond to myself. First group came in, shot 2. Second group came in, shot 3. I was out, tagged out. Done. 3 for 3. And then I shot 3 times and I killed 2 the first time. Opening day. Teal season. Oklahoma. Walked out, it was 7:15. Had my limit. I was gone. Talked to the DOW, or the game warden, or what, everybody calls him something different in every other state, but talked to him the next following weekend, and he said it was flooded with water moccasins and nobody would go out there because there was a bunch of snakes. Folks, I didn't see a snake out there, but I will tell anybody. I will tell anybody nowadays, as a joke, that place is flooded with water moccasins. Now, mind you, there is snakes and there are water moccasins out there. I have seen some. But it wasn't infested or flooded, or I wasn't paying attention, or they were in a certain area that I wasn't. I got lucky. Ain't no telling. I ended up talking to a buddy that was a friend of mine at the time, and he told me he scouted it and he didn't see one bird. And he scouted it for 3 days in a row, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the morning again, and he didn't see nothing. It just goes to show. I mean, you get lucky, sure. You got to take the good with the bad. The point is I told people there were birds out there. I didn't care. Like, you get out there before me, you got just as right to have it before me as anybody else. That's the point. There's no reason to hide it. Like, I don't understand why people are so, oh, well, if he knows there's birds, he's going to beat me out there, and then I'm not going to get it. Like, we're not squatters, folks. There's more places to hunt than one spot. And that's the best part about it, is you can give people knowledge. You can tell them about good places. They can come out and shoot birds. Isn't that what you want to do? That's what I want to do. And better yet, for free on public land? Sure. But there's a line you have to draw with yourself. Is it worth it? Am I going to go out there and do that? Or is it not? Because there's only so much you can do before you're not going to say anything to nobody. Nobody's going to know that they're out there. You're going to see them all. And guess what? The day you go out there, it's going to be packed. Or there's going to be someone in your exact spot. And it doesn't matter. The problem is everybody's lazy and doesn't want to go somewhere else because they haven't invested any more time. They don't have any other backups. They don't know any other good spots, or this is the only spot that's available to them, or whatever your variables are. Folks, what I've done with that information is I've changed. I'm not looking at one place to hunt all season long, or two places to hunt all season long. When I moved here, I only knew of two places to hunt, and that's where I hunted. And I look back at that and I'm just like, wow, like, there are so many more places that are right there, but I was literally just not thinking about the fact that I could go out to another place and have success. And getting out, like I've told you guys in the past, getting out in the woods is a success in its own. You don't have to be in that exact spot. You don't have to hunt that exact spot. That's not a millennial thing. That's not an entitlement thing. That's not a new generation thing. That's people and their own choices. You can blame it on whatever you want. But I'm a millennial, and I'm telling you, if something's packed, or someone sits too close, or it gets too much, I'm out. And I'm okay with it. I'm not going to get all butthurt about it. I've shot plenty of birds in my life. I'm not mad at them mallards no more. I love to pursue them, and I'll always pursue them like I'm mad at them. But I ain't mad at them no more. To where I'm going to sacrifice my safety, sacrifice my reputation as a person, let myself get angry at another group of people or another group of hunters because of something that I have the choice. You have the choice to do. Now, given all those variables, you still have the choice to do something even different. Okay? Let's say you go out to your favorite spot. It's public, it's usually packed, and nobody's there. It's yours. You enjoy the hunt, you move on. Great. Boom, done. Well, you decide, hey, I had great luck, I'm going to go out there again. You go out there again, and there's two other groups that show up after you get there. You've got the seniority, you got the spot, you expect them to stay so far away, and they don't. What do? You go, you try to talk to them, you come off as kind of a dork or a butthead, and, you know, they tell you to kind of take a hike. Well, you do that. Take a hike. It's not worth it. Flat out. It's not worth your 5 birds, your 6 birds, your 12 birds. It's not. You got to swallow your pride. Move down a little ways. Who cares? I've done it. I'm not going to get shot. I've seen someone get shot duck hunting. I've seen it right in front of my eyes. BBs went right up underneath his head and slid underneath his skin and dragged across his skull, and he had 5 BBs. Looked like he tried to wear them in hair gel. They just slid underneath his skin, bounced off the ice. Terrible. But you can't take that back. And I don't know about you, but a duck is not worth getting shot. A duck is not worth losing my life. And a duck is not worth a fist fight or going to jail or anything. You live to hunt another day. And that's something you have to learn at your own level of maturity. And I'm not judging any hunter. And I hope a lot of us guys that are my age, in your 20s, your mid-20s, I hope you guys see that. Because it takes a bigger person to walk away when you're upset. Really, truly does. Even though you're passionate, and I'm a very passionate person, you got to understand what is it worth at the end of your day. Because you can't take it back. So my advice, you go ahead, move down another 100 yards. You may have given up the best spot. So what? Your buddy stays in the spot originally, or you leave your light over there and you move down. All your stuff moves down 100 yards. You're 200 yards away now. You're safe. You're away from them. And then as soon as a shooting light comes up, no time for him to move because it's the best time to shoot. So now you've acquired the distance. And hey, what a lot of people don't think about right in the moment when you're out in the blind, when you're out in the spot, when you're there, is if a bird's going to land where you were, right where you were, and you were going to kill it, who's to say it won't land 60 or 70 yards down or 100 yards down from where that was? Again, birds are going to do whatever they want, and we can't control where they go, but we can sure try. And if you can move them and manipulate them, that just makes you all the better hunter. And to boot it, this has happened to me, this exact scenario that I'm explaining to you guys. Excuse me. Pardon me. This exact scenario has happened to me. And you know what I did? I shot my limit. And I went home. And that guy sat up next to me, and I asked him to move, and he told me to off. He didn't shoot a single bird while I was there. I outcalled him. I put out a better decoy spread. Not in the aspect that I had more. I just played the wind. And I shot more birds than he did. He didn't shoot anything. Every single bird landed in my spread. And you're like, well, good. Screw that guy. No. It's a lesson to learn. It's a lesson. The other half of that lesson that you could look at, and I know this video is getting a little long, guys, so bear with me, is he could have shot all the birds and I couldn't have shot nothing. Well, then how would it made that me feel? I mean, sure, I'd be upset about it, but that's a conversation that you can respectfully have with that person, respectfully, or you can choose not to go there, or go to a different spot. Again, the lesson is not to be learned through them, it's through you as a hunter. You have to learn that these things are going to take a toll on you, and you have to understand you're out in the woods with a loaded firearm, and the last thing you need is a temper. Okay? It's the last thing you need. So when you go walk over towards them, I carry concealed all the time. So I'll put my shotgun down and it makes me look like I'm unarmed. And that's okay for me. Put your hands in your waders. That's where I carry my sidearm. It's on it, not the whole time. I'm not nervous about anything, but I'm protecting myself. They don't know that. They don't need to know that. That's my God-given right and the Second Amendment and blah, 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 blah. We won't get into that. That's for something else. But, I'm not going to make someone angry enough to want to use their firearm on me because I don't care. And people do get upset about those type of things to the point where you don't know what they're capable of. And they may have had a really bad day or God knows what, and they're coming out here to blow off some steam. 90% of the time, if you hook up with these guys in the beginning, you become friends. Before it all. But it seems like every time we get into the woods and I'm on one side and you're on the other, it's just some competition that is just gladiator to the death. And cussing and swearing and sky busting. Ain't worth it, folks. It's really not worth it. And I hope the ones that have listened to this truly all the way through, I hope you either can relate to what I'm saying, make some sense of it, and realize that there are other people out there that are practicing the exact same things you're saying and want it to be better, and that's what we need to breed. is making it better, because public land doesn't have to be a horrible place, and public land doesn't have to be a nightmare. We make it the nightmare, because without us, it's just land. It's just land. So keep that in mind when you guys are out there next time. You know, be polite, you know, invite a stranger, help each other out, move down a little bit if you have to, respect each other, because that's what it's all about. And that's all I got for you guys on this one. Millennial Waterfowl out.